Well. Aren't I in great luck today? It's not every day I get to run into my favorite person. Oh, dear. Don't be coy now. I don't see anyone else in front of me, darling. And that's what makes me like you all the more. You know that? So bold that you'd stray so far away from the safety of your friends. Not even a day after a major battle. That's not even enough time to address your own wounds. Still, I've got to say I'm quite impressed. How'd I miss the memo that you were strong enough to take care of yourself all on your own? Oh, is that what you meant? Are they all watching us from the bushes? To see where this goes, of course. I don't know about that. Ambushing does require everyone being on the same page. And, you might want to work on that some more. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you are out here all alone, aren't you, dear? And last I checked, you need more than one person for that plan to work. Hope they didn't fall asleep on the job. It's way too quiet. Or did they all become masters of stealth in the last, let's say, 12 hours? You must have one hell of a team to pull a stunt like that. Which I highly doubt. What a shame. It would have been nice to have them around for such a momentous occasion. Taking such a big step that not everyone can say they have. Too bad your friends don't see that charisma and presence that would have convinced them to watch you lead the charge and making me fall to my knees somehow, somewhere. Oh, but don't worry about all that, darling. I think you're perfectly fine where you are. Wouldn't want you to be as boring as the actual leader. Can you imagine? Making all of those plans to come after me in the worst possible ways. Or even ignoring me altogether for some low-life wannabe world ender. God, don't you all ever get bored of that? Look, those guys are all talk, and you can probably leave them alone until they can handle their egos not being stroked. They can wait. You need to prioritize those once-in-a-lifetime experiences, you know. There's only one first time for everything. First meetings, first time picking up a sword, first battle against your enemies. Maybe first friends, first loves, first time telling a secret to your closest of kin about who you'd love to share that first kiss with. Right, because you've kissed so many women, I bet. Oh, but maybe that's what makes it difficult for you to move up in the ranks. Leaders are all about being upfront about their plans and not keeping big secrets to themselves. Telling one friend one thing, then the other might result in some mixed signals, you know. especially if they're not very keen on the full picture. Why don't I give you a lesson in leadership then? Let's start by practicing on what you should say to your friends next time you've got the chance. If you do, that is. I have a thing for my enemy, and I'd love for them to give me my first kiss. Doesn't that sound great, darling? Now, don't forget. This is a lesson, remember? You'll be the one to tell them. I'll have no part in that. Well, it's true, isn't it? Or are you just a prolific liar? Because that won't earn you any marks with your friends either. That's what makes me a great teacher, you know. You got a lesson on being a good leader and how to be stealthy. Something I take pride in myself, of course. If you'd like, I can prove it some more. Let me list out a couple more things I'm not supposed to know. Let's start with our first friend who was lucky enough to hear straight from your mouth that you were embarrassed by your attraction to my confidence and the fact that I always seem to know what I'm doing. Honestly, I should give you some credit for your perceptiveness. I'm glad that you and I can see eye to eye in that, dear. Unfortunately, that other friend didn't get the most important fact, even with how detailed you were in your description of the type of person you would like to have your first kiss from. It had to be someone confident that always seemed to know what they're doing. Dominant, controlling. Also might help if they were good looking, like me. My apologies, I flatter myself. But most importantly, out of all things, that person needs to be worth dating. Am I right? Or else this is just all for nothing, and it'll all go to waste. We wouldn't want that, now would we? Think. If someone heard all of that put two and two together, kind of funny. A coincidence. How some things just happen to match up. But maybe that's why neither friend got the full story, huh? Oh, baby. But the best part is that you don't have to sit through all of that embarrassment ever again. Because the one person who matters in all of this already knows exactly what you want. Bet that's a weight off your chest. Cutie. Oh, now don't you worry, sweetheart. We can get rid of all those doubts you have left, so it can be a lot easier for you to choose what you want to do. If you want, I can start telling you a little more about myself, so you can decide whether or not I'm worth dating. You interested in that? Well, we can always wait for the actual date to learn more about each other. I'd love to hear all those things that might be a little too spicy to share with your friends. But before we can have all of that fun, you should probably let them know you'll be out for a little bit longer than expected, of course. Otherwise, they might just start questioning things. And I'm not sure you're ready to be honest about something this scandalous. Just yet, at least. Now, if that's too much, we can start with meeting up behind everyone else's backs like right now. Nothing too formal. And I can already imagine the different stories you'll be telling your friends. One hears you confronted me all alone, while the others hear you finally got the first kiss you always wanted. Oh, but what if they accidentally bring it up to each other? I wonder how they try to make sense of it all. Maybe you bravely come to confront me one-on-one. But I, being the type to always know what I'm doing, get the upper hand, of course. And by some miracle, the perfect savior rushes in and catches me off guard. I end up promptly defeated because they too seem to know what they are doing. You are so swept off your feet that you and your savior celebrate your victory with a passionate kiss. So wet, so deep. That's just a few problems with that. You happen to mention that you find me attractive, and I can't be defeated so easily. So the truth might just end up coming out in the end. That you confronted me and got your first kiss in the process, of course. That's the thing I can give to you right now. Yes, just as simple as that. Honestly, there's no other reason that I want to take that at all. Honestly, there's no other reason that I want to take that first. Honestly, there's no other reason than I want to take that first, all for myself. And you said it yourself. That's what you wanted, right? We both get what we want in the end. So truly, I see no problem here whatsoever. You're my favorite. More than enough of a reason to want to, I believe. Oh, how silly can you be? The worst that I'll do is bite your lip. Make it bleed even. But you might just like it. I mean, you're more than welcome to bite back if you feel like. Might as well go for it then, huh? No need to be so nervous. You'll get exactly what you want. It's my job to make everything perfect. You just have to sit back and enjoy the experience. Shh, 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 shh. Relax. It'll be okay. It'll be very quick. It'll end faster than you can count to 5. Or it could be longer than that. Whatever you prefer, darling. But it has to be memorable. And I've got to live up to my reputation of knowing exactly what I'm doing. Can't let anyone else beat me in that, now can I? I'll make it worth your while. Was that exactly how you imagined it? Good. Now we've got to figure out if I'm worth dating now, huh? I've got to tell you a little more about myself then. First, I'll let you in on something important you need to know about me. Before you can make any sort of judgment, that is. Unfortunately, I don't always know what I'm doing. As flattered as I am that you think that about me, sometimes I just need to improvise and hope things go as planned. And that includes right now. That was my first kiss too. Glad I'm good enough to pretend like it's not. But can't fake it till you make it, you know? I need to live up to that reputation. So, I'm going to need more practice. And it's going to be with you. So I'm going to have to convince you one way or another. You're the one keeping this reputation alive, dear. Tell me what I need to do. Think about it right now, then. Think about it right then and now. Is that really enough? If not, I can go on for as long as I need to. You've got plenty more opportunities to figure it out. It doesn't have to be today. There's a lot of time between battles now. Maybe your friends taking their dear sweet time to fix up after every fight is a blessing in disguise. I can go all out for the next one to give us even more time. I'm very confident that I can. Let me make preparations for that so I'm ready. In the meantime, you've got something to tell your friends. Yes. None of this is beating around the bush about who you want your first kiss from. This time it has to be, I'm happy. They were my first kiss. They can figure out that while on their own we work on your honesty. They can figure that out on their own while we work on your honesty. They can figure that out on their own while we work on your honesty. You've got to be certain that I'm worth dating. So, We actually can. Enemies or not, I've got a reputation to uphold, and I most certainly will. Enemies or not, I've got a reputation to uphold, and I most certainly will.